start this.
Oh, True Value Podcast. First episode, all the boys together, getting it in. Also, we were joined by some friends today, so it's nice to have our first full panel together. We decided to do it out in the park, because why not? Have a little good time out here in Redlands. Hi, my name is Christian. I'm one of your main podcast hosts, as well as Jonathan Beck over here.
Yo, yo, yo.
And the mythical Ira over here.
Hey, baby, how we doing?
And today we're going to start with John, actually, because he had a very good talking point. And let's start diving in.
All right, so what's the questions?
What was the talking point you got out of today with your therapist?
Oh, yeah. So today we were talking about how most of the time that we get, so me, I have a tendency of either being really, really good or really, really bad. And sometimes people think I have like split personalities or multiple personalities or whatever, just because I can go from I love you to fuck you, I hate you, never want to see you again in a second. And a lot of it comes from me disrespecting my own boundaries and not having them even been something that was like acknowledged from like your caretakers growing up. They didn't instill me to have the boundaries. Sure, there was boundaries like don't cross the street without looking both ways, tie your shoes, brush your teeth. There was boundaries and regulations, but there wasn't things that helped me maintain my sense of self-worth. And so I constantly would feel abandoned by my parents. And there were many different experiences that I had where it led me to come to that conclusion where no one's listening, no one cares, I'm abandoned, I'm all alone. At least I have their physical body here that I can go and hug it when I need comfort. But then what happens when you grow up always needing that, and so then you have attachment issues, and then because you want that connection and you want that relationship or that intimacy, then you start pushing it away because you're afraid that you're going to lose it again, or it's going to go out to the store for 15 minutes and not come back for the next 6 hours.
AKA the milk.
The titties, daddy, the titties. So most of the relationships I have in my life all mirror my inner critic, and most of them, when it's the inner critic in control, it's not pretty. And we were dissecting today in therapy how my inner critic is the reason why people think I have a split personality. It's very judgmental. It's very it's very hurt. It's very angry. It's very mean, and it knows how to hurt with words, and it hurts me, and then it leads me to hurting others. And these guys could both attest for it.
Fuck yeah. It was tough. It was tough. It was very tough, but we cried together because, we boys.
Yeah.
We pick each other back up.
I can go from talking that sick to being very toxic real fast. And one of the things that I think is going to help me, with reestablishing my sense of self-control is to just having that sense of, before I would feel abandoned, I would always blame them for abandoning me. Like, mom said she was going to be gone for 15 minutes, but it's been 4 hours. She said she loved me, but then she left me. He said he was my friend, but then he stole from me. Like, but I'm supposed to be a good person, so I'm supposed to still accept people and love people and see the best in people. But why aren't they doing the same for me? And feeling very, very alone and, abandoned and by yourself when you're around people. So one of the things that was like a breakthrough for me today was, why am I putting all of this expectation in? Why am I trusting anyone else outside of me more than me? And that's why I push people away, is because I feel like I can't trust them because I'm not trusting myself. And like I said, it goes back to like child rearing. Like, I wasn't taught how to trust. in myself and my ability to walk away from things that aren't good, or my ability to self-soothe or regulate, or go for a walk or scream into a pillow. These weren't coping mechanisms that I was experienced with. So yeah, that's kind of what we were dissecting today in therapy, and turn over to the guys if they want to talk about their inner critic and how any of this reflects with them.
It reflects with me with having that inner critic because, like, honestly, when I was a kid, in the time where I needed my mother the most, she was there for majority of when I needed her growing up, but she ended up, ending it when I was 15, and that drew a lot out of me because I was stuck in a toxic environment. Like, the home life was never exactly what I needed or wanted, and it really took a toll on me because, like, my family wasn't great about bolstering up what we were passionate about, which I know a lot of people in the world have that same issue, because we're all just out here trying to fulfill something that means something to ourselves, something that brings us closer to who we are. And when I was stuck in probably one of the worst situations for the longest times that I could have ever been in, I didn't have my support anymore. So my inner critic ended up going real quiet, or being extremely loud, which is why now I'm an overthinker in life and a lot of the things that I'm doing. And it does take a huge toll on my mental capacity and my emotional capacity, because when I get triggered in feeling abandoned, my first instinct is close off, disappear, don't be there anymore, don't be around, don't pour my energy into it, things that I am actively pursuing to be a part of. And in that way, I've had to start diving into my actual subconscious, and really the automatic negative thoughts is what they call it in therapy. So when they start to arise from my subconscious, I've had to really start diving in and saying, whoa, 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 wait, reevaluate, what's the perspective here? And honestly, it's been probably the hardest point of work in my entire life, just finding out how to communicate with myself so that I can face the traumatic experiences that I've been going through for so long. So, I mean, in that particular style and what is going on, it is beneficial, and it's going to serve and help a lot of people, which is why we're here in the first place. Because, sometimes all you have are your friends to lean on when you need them most. So me and my friends decided that we wanted to start making the movement to helping one another and other people. And like I said before, welcome to the True Value Podcast, because that's what it's about right here. The true value within yourself that you find through the connections that you're making and the hard conversations. So we're here to start having them. Let's pass it over to Ira.
Most definitely. I can feel with you, John, on that self-criticism. That's my biggest downfall in life, is dealing with that, learning how to overcome that, because I've always learned that the biggest enemy is the man that looks you in the mirror. Or woman. But it's such a hard...
Man, hey, you know what? As long as we're being politically correct here.
I'm trying. I'm still learning.
Hey, we're all out here. It's all good. Just a nice little sidebar here, though. Not a single person in this group is afraid of anyone being their exact selves. Like, we've actively gone to to all sorts of funny things, including drag nights, which me and him achieved last time, where he could find me dancing like a stripper in the line, waiting to just go into the bar.
Pop it, lock it,
It was
drop
great.
It, shut up, shop.
It was great.
Let's go.
Man, before I was 21, I was going to this gay club out in Pomona called Club 320, I think it was called. 340, see? It's not even
our nice friend back here.
And
She's painting a picture of this wonderful tree.
Dave, correct?
Yeah, his name is Dave.
Yeah, a pattern in this bark that represents DNA, human DNA.
So, I guess Dave has this immaculate DNA sequence pattern in his bark, which is why she connected and resonated with the aura of this tree so well. So she came out here just to paint and honor him, as he is a beautiful living being, as we all are. But yeah, the acceptance of what we bring to this world is the thing that's going to help us with unity. But considering everything, we're going to go right back to my friend here who needs the microphone.
Hello.
Hello.
So ADHD moment. Where was I at?
You were at the club that you used to go to in Pomona.
340. Yes. My an old friend of mine, Dom, I had met at a party down in San Bernardino. She thought it would be the greatest moment to just take me to a drag show and not tell me that it's a drag show and try to watch me freak out.
Yes.
And
you said you had the best night of your life.
oh, I had a great time because I grew up with the gay community. My mom grew up gay. Like my earliest memories were my mom and her girlfriend, and then her oldest son taking care of me, like while they went to like pride like events and all that.
I feel you on that because my mom was by my entire childhood, so like there was no parameter on like no, just as long as you love people. You know?
It's people are people. That's all. It's all that matters. You know what I mean? We all bleed the same. We all breathe the same. Like it doesn't even matter. Like, you know, like it's just about living life and just being who your truest self is, no matter what that outer shell may be.
I mean, that's pretty gangster as it is, right?
Yeah,
Being your authentic self is what we're trying to be about, anyways.
exactly.
Because without the authenticity of who we are in here, we're just wearing that mask.
Facts.
And like, I'm sorry, but like, mask off. You feel me?
Got to, yeah, got to.
But we have to.
Yeah, and it's the authenticity that you know, we either radiate or don't. I'm realizing like when I'm letting that inner critic you know, take the wheel and steer, it's all fear, it's all inauthentic, it's not who I really am, which is probably why too people think, you know, multiple personalities of John, because one day he's fucking great and one day he's fucking little fucking shitbird. What the fuck, you know?
Look, I can
And it's literally just letting that little thought come in like a fish hook, and then just being the little gulper that gulps it down and being like, oh, I'm gonna swallow that bullshit. And you know, that's one thing that I feel like I've been pretending a lot in life, is that I'm immune to the bullshit, when in fact I have been swallowing that shit hook, line, and sinker, getting pulled up to the oxygen in the top, and you know, floundering about and not knowing what the fuck is really going on, because you know, I'm not in the right environment. And it's been a long, you know, a long journey in life, but it's also been very short, and it's way too fun to not be authentic. So you know, that's why we're out here, you know, getting real with people. And like, you know, I was pretending to be okay when in fact I'm not okay, and the impact of that is I'm lying to myself and everyone else, and they don't get to know the real me, and that costs me my actual relationship with them and that experience of love. That like, we're all here for that connection, you know. And until we get real about where we're not being real, you know, authentic about where we've been inauthentic, you know, and own the impact, only then can we actually see the way to go forward. So we hope this podcast finds you guys well, and hopefully you guys can relate to some of this stuff, and hopefully not. And hopefully we make you laugh, hopefully we make you cry, and hopefully we just end up bringing everybody together the way that we're supposed to be. Unity is where we actually activate the true passions and compassions within other people. So while we're out here trying to spread this little bit of innate difference, hopefully we reach you in a real way. Not hey, this is what I'm trying to be, but in a, I'm human. We are human, and we're just out here trying to live together. It doesn't always have to be a hard fact when you're choosing to be what you want to be. It's simply just allowing yourself to be in the moment and find the presence in being. So, from the last word from me, I'm going to pass it to Ira real quick and see what his final thoughts are.
My final thoughts are, I want to go back to like John was saying, like I can attest to like how you feel about that, because like a split personality, I mean, like especially when multiple people think that of you. But I also do believe that in every single person that we meet lies a different version of ourselves. So It's hard. It's hard for some to like take that to heart when you have that kind of knowledge and know like that no matter what, you're gonna be different to somebody else. You know what I mean? To one person, you might be the greatest fucking person who has ever lived, but the next person might be like, no, fuck that guy.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
experience.
It's
And then what they make is what their inner critic's saying if they're not letting their
exactly like it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard to kind of gauge that, and it's like one thing we all have to learn together. Like that the outer critics that people try to bring onto us is just their own self doubt, and it's more just we got to focus on us.
I would say it's less self-doubt, but more the reflection
There.
of their inner experience. Because we all form our present experience based on past reactions, which is why the entire talk on the shadow self.
Correct.
Because
that was the word I was looking for. I just had one too many bowls.
one too many bulls. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like I feel it. Like it's definitely more. We build our subconscious experience through all of the traumatic experiences, anyways. And while we befriend that inner version of ourselves so that we can function correctly with our subconscious, it's going to help us interweave better with the environment we're choosing amongst us and around us.
Exactly.
So I find it just beneficial in general to find people that want to be on that same wavelength, want to ride the vibe that is life, because we're nothing but a bunch of stacked atoms floating in a rock through a giant ethos anyways.
We ain't nothing but mammals.
We ain't nothing but mammals.
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby. But like I think the ultimate like thing that we all are going through the most is finding identity in the things that we are perceiving ourselves to be, instead of asking ourselves what we want to be and following that trajectory. So making a difference doesn't always have to be something that someone's going to like, which I've already notated in my first post here. Like, surface level is surface level, but you're going to find out who people truly are when you stop judging based off of another story and start asking the right questions. So here we are, and hopefully we get to ask the right questions together and bring some light to your guys' lives as well.
Wait, we can ask questions?
Oh, dude, can we ever? What's your first question? Actually,
Who am I?
what's your first question to your fellow guys here? How about that? We start there. What's something that you see in us that you feel we might not consider and reflect on?
Probably the same thing for myself. Like I said, who am I? Like, who are you? Who is Ira? Like, we look in the mirror and we see, like you said, those years of conditioning and subconscious programming. We feel the way our thoughts tell us to about it. Our brains have been programmed and conditioned to lead our heart and not our heart to lead our brain. We've been completely divorced from ourselves for so long that we think that we are what we think, and we're not afraid of what we think we're afraid of what we think. And because we're so stuck in the rat race of life and pleasing all these other people around us because everyone else is more important than us and we don't really deserve the same kind of love that we give. I think if we really truly sat in the mirror and looked at ourselves the way that, we're supposed to, like the way that she looks at that tree. If we looked at ourselves the way that she looks at that tree, I feel like we would come to know so many things about ourselves, and it would completely silence quite the inner critic for, ever on those topics. But for some reason, we've yet to fully let go of who we think we are so we can just be.
But isn't that why we're just here in general, to be?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. And it's something that we haven't been doing. We haven't been letting go of the stuff we need to let go of. We've been like holding on to it and using it to justify and rationalize and make sense of, versus just being and being okay with not knowing.
Well,
It's something I could get better at for sure. So if there's something I think that we could all do or whatever, and that would raise us up, I feel like that's the thing. Like, who are we? and there doesn't even have to be an answer, and that's it.
Well, we are the choices which we make from this day forward.
Yeah, 100%.
We're the choices, and
we could choose to just be, or we could choose to just be in work, or we could choose to just be and have a family, or choose to not be present and still do all those things and suffer.
well, I mean, life is suffering, right? We just got to figure out how to dance in the rain instead of getting
We
consumed
got
by
to
the
make
storm.
that suffering meaningful. We've all suffered before. We just got to make it significant. We've got to, we're not going to let that be the thing that stops us. Like when I got run over by the car and they had me on machines and they were saying I'm not going to walk again, probably not going to come out of a coma. Terminal, like, died on the way, shit myself, pissed myself, threw up everywhere, organ failure, whatever it's called. There's a lot of bad shit being spoken about me, as far as my health and wellness were. And look at me today. I can walk, I got surgeries.
Fuck walking. We're
learned-
running, baby
No, yeah,
boy.
bro, we could sprint these days too, we could squat, we could do all the things that they said I probably never would do, so consider pulling the plug. And, it doesn't matter what anyone else says, it just matters, what do we want, and then do we go for that? Do we choose that, like you said, daily, and is it something that brings us joy? It was a lot of suffering to me and to my family and friends to see me in that situation, and it hurt everyone. And that I was able to learn how to walk again made it so meaningful to everyone that they were like, you know what, that pain was worth this pleasure of watching you walk again, John. Like, so, like, I made the miserable something else. I turned some pain into power.
Transmuting the power
and,
that was.
That's a choice that I make daily. I just want to exponentially, make more choices that are like that versus it just being out of super traumatic experiences or, fucking fought with my best friends today because I was letting the inner critic lead, fuck.
Hey, but like at the same time, we've already talked about that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we have, but we haven't talked to them about it. So
This is fair. This is fair, honestly.
And,
and
like you said,
I
we're
can
being real, we're being authentic. I own all my shit.
And I can be completely
I hate-
honest and own the fact that I've just been a stress monster after trying to start both this podcast, multiple businesses. Honestly,
We let shit get to us, and we took it out on each other, and it was really mostly me triggering the triggers in everyone else. It was
not only that, but we leaned into
Yeah.
salting the wounds too, which didn't help any of us really.
And I said, bring it on, baby.
I love you, John.
love you too, Papa. Love you 3, Craig.
But that's the whole point. Like, we all got something,
Yeah,
but what are we gonna make out of it?
Yeah, we can be real about it. It sucks to fucking apologize after you realize you just fucking hurt your best friends.
Yeah.
Because for me, at least, it's like, if I do this again, then I apologize again, and I do it again and apologize again, it's just gonna make my apologies more and more and more and more meaningless and worthless. And fuck, I don't want to be meaningless and worthless. I want to have integrity to when I say, hey, I'm gonna get better, I get better. And it sucks that it's been
That
a
also
lifelong
just comes
journey
with
of getting better,
accountability.
but it's also the way I've been looking at it because I've been letting the inner critic look at it. Like, yeah, I'm getting better a little bit, 1% every day, and that's something to celebrate. Not, I'm not there yet. Fuck, give up.
Fair, because like 1% a day still is 365% at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, think
saying
about
that.
what you do after.
He has
fucking
been saying that.
100
I've been
years,
saying
you know?
that.
Think what we could do with the decade.
I learned
Maybe we
that.
could
I
do it
learned
the
that at
century.
a life insurance convention. That if you at least work on yourself 1% every single day, you'll be 365% better.
Yo, that's the place to learn that shit too.
Oh yeah,
Insurance, dog.
I can't wait to get back into
That's
it.
the insurance we both need right now.
Shit.
Just a little bit right now.
Just a little bit.
It's okay, we'll work on
Just
that.
a tip.
Just a tea wiggly.
The tea wiggles.
Just a tea wiggly bit. But
My lord.
my lord. We're always going to do that to ourselves, though. We are our harshest critics. So, like, why not lean into the people that are seeing the best in us and start leaning into that light, though?
Hell yeah, 100%.
Because
And also too, like, understanding that, just because I make it mean that I have to apologize 1,500 times before I get it fucking flawless, doesn't mean I'm not going to perform 15 million flawless executions afterwards. Like
Facts,
David
because you know,
Beckham
fail
probably,
forward.
yeah, David Beckham probably didn't make all of his shots when he was first learning, you know, as a kid. But look at him now. You know, he probably had so many failures, you
The
know, learning how to
prodigy,
kick the
if you know
ball.
what I'm
And
saying.
yeah, exactly. And now look at him fucking execute flawless, causes so much joy and fucking love that shit. Let's go, Beckham, baby.
Like Kobe, like that motherfucker was in the gym before anybody else, every single day, working hard to make his dreams come true.
Exactly.
it's like-
it's just putting in the work,
Put in the work.
staying accountable,
Sustainability in action.
falling down, getting back up.
Discipline.
Like was the saying, fall down 6 times, get up 7, something like that. Blah blah
That's all that
blah.
matters.
Or was it because like 7, 8, 9?
Consistency,
That 10 was
commitment,
scared.
Probably.
Yeah, or 6, I think. Yeah,
commitment,
Six-
consistency
No, 6 was scared of 7. It was,
because it 8, 9.
yeah.
are like two of the biggest things in general. And like honestly, that was the mantra I was running off this year. Like from the beginning of the year was love, win, discipline.
And 2, sometimes consistency doesn't have to mean like speed. Doesn't mean like, oh, I felt I have to get up right this
just
second. Sometimes
consistently
you have,
working towards it.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's what I'm saying is understanding that consistency is like could look like just staying in bed all day and taking a fucking nap because your leg's broken. You really want to go to the beach with the homies, but you can't because you're in the fucking cast. And I mean, you could, but it's not going to be as fun for you and la la la. So like, all I'm saying is like, some things are going to take a little bit of time. Some things are going to take a lot of bit of effort. Some things are not going to happen just miraculously overnight, and some things are. So don't judge yourself the way that I have, please, and like letting the inner critic be like, oh, you're not there yet, fucker. You'll never get there, fucker.
Well, I mean, once again,
Fuck
it's
that
really
guy.
yeah.
Fuck that
Fuck
guy.
that guy.
Fuck that guy.
You know,
Fuck you, inner Frederick.
inner Frederick.
Let's give him a name, guys.
Interface.
the inner
The double
Frederick.
in me is doing things. It's my inner Frederick.
I mean, if you're
Ignore his rhetoric.
Ignore his rhetoric.
hey, you know what? As long as we're running in the right direction, because it doesn't always have to be a slow walk. It doesn't even have to be a pace. If you're passionate about wanting change, you do it. You watched me. It took 3 weeks, but my whole mindset and demeanor was different.
Dove in. Straight up plunged. Baptized himself.
But like in
Carry
not
the most.
not only
Yeah.
deciding to lean more into like what I decided I wanted to be more faithful in, because like at this point I also understand the concept of omnism, which is there is truth in all religion, and there are things that are not going to be in alignment with all religion. But this is like one of those really hard topics that we can cover on another day. But the more I find intersecting beliefs, the more I'm finding the alignments within the truths of said beliefs. Like, I have always been a Christian since I was a kid, but was that naturally what I decided I wanted to be, or was that another conditioning?
He said, I am the way.
I am the way.
I know the way.
I am
I-
definitely not
I
the
feel
way.
you. Like, I grew up Christian, going to a Catholic school, and then being pulled out of all of that, and then getting dumped into Mormonism.
My mom was part of Mormonism for like a month, and then she was like, never mind.
Look, my mom was full sent on that shit. My mom and my stepdad both. Like, they dove right into that. They were like the biggest help that, I mean, they're amazing people. It just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like feels a little off in there. Like,
Well, I mean, you got to really think of it this way, though, too. Christianity alone has 20,000 different sects.
Yeah.
So, are we ever really getting the true story unless we go through every single one of those traditions to find out what the truth is? Luckily for myself, I've found a Polish doctor, actually, that does linguistics, and he went through every single version of the Bible to relate it back to its original translation, and that's what he's been spending the last 30 years doing.
God damn.
And
Talk about commitment and consistency, baby.
facts, and that's what really drew me into him in the first place, was like, I don't even know where he stands within that, but trying to find the truth of the words that originated is kind of a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah.
Like and that also brings me back to the thought of myself. Like, what was the original thoughts I had about what I wanted, my passions, my dreams, and how can I make that reality now? And I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to talk to people about the things that mattered most to them and what brings value to their lives, which is why I was like, yo, guys, y'all want in on this?
I'm
And
jumping in both feet.
yeah, no, like, screwed both feet. I was head first, ready to plunge, no snorkel, just going. You know what
I
I'm
belly
saying?
flopped onto asphalt for this fucking opportunity. Jesus Christ. Empire State what? Geronimo.
And that's what's so beautiful about it. We don't have to be anything except for consistent with what we want to talk about. And, you know, naturally, we're going to bring in the people that reach the same vibrational field, which is nice, which is why we're here, sitting in the park. Because,
With
like,
you on this lovely Tuesday.
hell yeah. You know what
Tis a
I haven't
Tuesday.
done since I got here? I haven't grounded yet. So I'm going to pass the mic for another talking point from, let's say, Ira. What do you want to talk about today?
Oh Jesus, I wasn't prepared for this moment.
I mean, we're never prepared.
Nah, I mean, then that's just. I guess that's kind of just being. I guess I want. That's the kind of talking point I want to go. Is just understanding to just let life. Look, everybody's grounding now. I got to ground because now look, now I'm the odd one out. Hold on, give me a second.
Man. We all need a little bit of earth in our lives. Some grass between our toes.
Got it. All right, you got to hold this. I'm stuck.
Gotta let the dogs out. Exactly.
Yep, that's better. But it's just understanding like it's okay that some days are not going to be the best. That there's always going to be hiccups. There's always going to be faults throughout the day and unforeseen obstacles. No matter how deeply we plan, there's always the unforeseen. And it's just learning to accept that there's nothing we can do about it and accept that and find what we can change to make that day better.
Quoting the master himself.
Master, no.
All right, guys, we're going to kick out with a little grounding ground. We'll do a little Buddhist meditation and some Sanskrit mantra for your goodness, wellness, health, and healing.
Mindfulness.
Let's breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Repeat after me. May I be happy.
May I be happy.
Hold. May I be free from pain.
May I be free from pain.
Hold. May I be full of joy.
May I be full of joy.
May we be happy.
May we be
May we be free from pain.
May we be free from pain.
May we be full of joy.
May we be full of joy.
Om Danzavitur Vranyam Bargo Divzianimai Dioyona All right, guys. Hope you got some value out of today. Love ya.
Love you guys.
Love you all, and thank you. This was the True Value Podcast.
Stay grounded and hydrate.
Don't forget it. You matter.
Liquid IV is great. Don't go get drunk without it.
Or do.
I mean, it's your choice.
Some people like the pain.
I like to masturbate because it's great. Only on the 8th day of the month, though.
Look, I'm still mad my big rubber masturbating shoes ripped.
See, I never knew you could break rubber shoes until
Tune in next time to hear about Ira breaking his rubber shoes.
It was a great time.
I haven't heard this one yet, so it's going to be good. See you there. Love ya.